Hi everyone, this is Paramita again. Now here in this video I'm going to show you the parameterization in Cucumber, and I'm going to show you like why we need parameterization also. Now here I will not show you like the passing the data table through example. I'll just show you parameterization without any table. I will make another video for passing the data table. Okay, so this is just I'll show you the parameterization. Now here in my previous video you have seen that I made a feature file in Cucumber with a simple scenario. So I am using that same file, but here in the scenario I'll make a small changes. User enters username. Instead of that I'll put a username here. Suppose parameter, password ABCD. Yeah. So for this, we will make a step definition file. I gave the name smart definition .java. So here, what code we are going to write? So we will get that from our Cucumber feature file. So I will save the Cucumber feature file and I will run it as Cucumber feature. Just right click and run as Cucumber. Yeah, see, it will give some error, but it will give us the missing code which we have to put in our step definition file. So I'll copy and paste. Here we have already created a smart definition.java where we'll mention all these steps. Okay, so here you can see all these method which is mentioned here, the link to this login file. Okay, so like given user is on login page, you can see given user is on login page and there is a method public void user is on login page. So these uh, yeah. Now suppose I will write some more scenario here. Okay, like this scenario was user logged in with valid username and password. I'll write another scenario. It's quite similar, but it will be user logged in with invalid username and password. Okay, negative testing. So this was with valid username and password. This is invalid username and password. And now here I'll put some invalid username like Paramjit and some password. Okay. So now I have to write some another step definition code just like this for this scenario as well, but they are quite similar. The given user is on login page. Here also user is on login page. So everything is same here except that username parameter. Here the username is Paramjit. Here password is ABCD and here the password is WEERT. Okay. So except these two things, all are same. So instead of writing same duplicate code, we can just parameterize these two value, username and password. Okay. So how we will do this? It's easy in Cucumber. Just put some double quote, put them inside the double quote. See, it's changed the color. That means now it's not just a value, it's a parameter. You can do it either with double quote or you can use this also. Less than greater than sign. Whatever you want to use, just use any one. I'm using the double quote one. Okay, so save it. Now, when I go back to that step definition file, we have to do some changes, but not the whole thing. Where we have to change? We have to change this method only, not the whole method. Okay. So what we can do? We can, the best way is, I just delete the whole thing. See, you will see the difference only here, the second one. User enters parameter and ABCD. Okay. So here in this method you see public void user enters parameter and ABCD. At this moment, in this method, no parameter is passed. Okay, it's just there is no any parameter inside. But once we will change, we have to make changes here. We have to pass two parameters inside this method. We can do it manually, just we can delete it and we can change this method, or we'll just delete everything here and we'll go back and we'll run this feature file as cucumber. Run as cucumber and see, we'll get the code here. We don't have to change anything. Yeah. Here you see in the next that at the rate when user enters string and string, and then they are passing two string variable to the method public void user enters. So we'll copy the whole thing and we will paste it on smartdefinition.java. Okay, see, it's all done. Yeah. So yeah, user enters string and string. So username and password is passing through this string variable. Okay, you can if you want you can change this name here, like the variable inside the method. When you are passing the string variable, they have given the name string to make it more understandable. You know, we can, if you want, you can make a change. Like I will give user name and the string 2 I'll give password. Okay, so now what's happening here? Now when the test cases will run, the first one will run. In that case, first time these two variables will be passed, parameter ABCD. Second time when it will run this second case, that time paramjit and WEERT will be passed in that method. Okay, now we are going to run this. Before that, what we will do, we don't want this exceptions. Instead of that, we will write something meaningful so that we can understand that we have reached here and the code was executed. System.out.println will print this user is on login page. Here we will write here we will write username and then password. Okay, remember this one is this variable. So here it's going to print the value of the variable, okay, which we are passing from the feature file. Then here we will print user landed on banking page. Here we will print card is displayed. Alright, so we will save it and we will run it and we will see how it's working. Here it's showing, still it's showing some error because we have to refresh that. If we close this, see there is no any error now. All errors are gone. Now we'll go to the smartrunner.java, our test runner class, which we created earlier. The same class, we don't need to change anything because the path of our smart feature folder and smart definition folder, they are same. So we are not going to do any changes now. We'll just run the new test cases and we'll see what's the result. So run as Junit. See, now here you can see we got 8 test cases. User logged in with valid username and password. User logged in with invalid username and password. And what's the result here in the console? How they are printing? They did the first case. User is on login page. Parameter ABCD. User landed on banking page. Card is displayed. And then again they ran the second scenario. In that case, same user is on login page. Paramjit WEERT, user landed on banking page, card is displayed. So both the scenarios they have covered and they have printed the result here. Okay, so that's how we will do the parameterization. Another thing here we can do, like because this is for the same feature, this is the first one is a positive testing, the second one is a negative testing. Here see the last line card is displayed. Here actually the card shouldn't be displayed because this is a wrong username and password. So we can write that card is not displayed. But if we write this one, then what we have to do, this line, for this line we have to write another method in our smart definition.java because this method is card displayed. This is only for this card displayed, not for card is not displayed. So that means we have to make another function for that. But we are not going to do this. What we can do, we can use only one function only if we do the parameterization here. How we will do this? We'll just change the language a little bit here. Card displayed is true. See, card displayed is true. We just parameterized this state of this, okay, true state. And then you will say card displayed is false. Okay. Now for this, we have to do little bit changes in our step definition. So again, just to reduce our work, I'll delete the whole thing and I'll take the coding from our Cucumber only. So I'll run this feature file as Cucumber feature and I'll get the code from there. I'll type it. Yeah, so see the difference. The last one, card displayed is, it's passing a string here. It will pass the string. In case of the first scenario, it will pass true, and in case of second scenario, it will pass false. Now we don't need this. We don't want to throw exception, so we will print out system.out.println. Here the variable they gave the name string. If we want, we can change the variable name. We can give any name, or we'll just keep it as it is, no problem. Just string, string, yeah. So in case of the first test case scenario, the value of string will be true. In case of second scenario, the value of string will be false. It will be printed there, be able to see. Okay. Similarly, we will print every stages so that we get a result here. In reality, there will be some test cases. We can use Selenium or any other tool, automation tool, whatever we use. We'll test cases here. Okay, so here we'll write, okay, we'll change the name of the variable. We'll write here username like before and password. It's not necessary, but just understand. Username, password. This one is user is on login page. Yeah, so it's all done now, and we'll go to the runner class and we'll run and we'll see what happens. Run as Junit. See, 8 steps have been done again. The first scenario is user logged in with valid username and password, and the second scenario, user logged in with invalid username and password. And you will see the output here. See how it's printed. User is on login page, parameter ABCD, user landed on banking page, true. So It was the first scenario. In the second scenario, again user is on login page, Paramjit, WEERT, the password, user landed on banking page, then false. The state is false in the second scenario, which was a negative testing. So in this way, we can do parameterization in Cucumber. It's really easy. So suppose we have to do similar scenarios, lots of 10, 15, 20. So instead of just putting the data like manually, we can do parameterization like this. So, and then our step definition file, or here I have given the name smart definition file, where we are writing all the methods for those login features. We don't have to write lot of different methods for each scenarios. Okay, so it will be very small. So that's why we will need to do parameterization. Now there is another way of parameterization where we use the example. Through the example, we can pass a whole table. We can pass a whole table like lots of data through our step definition file. That I will show in my next video. Another thing I want to show here, how to control like running your test cases through your runner file. Okay, like in runner file, there is a there's a parameter called tags. Tags. What is tags? If you go to the login feature, you can use some annotation at the rate tag 1, at the rate tag 2. Like this, you can use for each scenario. Okay, so suppose even you can use the tag like this. Suppose this is for smoke test, at the rate smoke test, and this is for regression test, reg test. Okay, so here I have only two scenarios, but in reality there will be a lot of scenarios. Okay, so maybe some for smoke test, some for text regression test, some for sanity test. So we can tell the runner that which tests to run. Suppose I want to run only smoke test. So in that case, I will mention that here in the tags parameter. So smoke test, save, and now run the test. Let's see what happens. Run as Junit. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the @ sign here. So when we will mention smoke test, we have to mention along with the @ sign. So tags equals to @ smoke test. See, so only user login has been performed with the valid username one. The first scenario which we mentioned as a smoke test here. Okay. Now if we mention here smoke test or rake test. Yeah, so when we write here smoke test or rake test, that means either smoke test or rake test. That means both will be run. So now I will run it and see the result. See, both are run. User login, user logged in with valid username and with invalid username. Both are run. Okay. So another situation is that if we tag it as like in feature file, maybe some test for both, the first one, smoke test and rate test as well. Okay. So we can tag them for more than one test also. Like this is necessary for smoke test also, regression test also. So in that case, if we write run the test cases like which are smoke test and rake test. In that case, only those scenarios will be run where both the tags are there. So here we just gave both the tags only in one scenario, first one. That means the first one will run. Just check it. Yeah, see? Only the first one is run. User logged in with valid username and password. And another situation may affect that we can mention that only like this, like run all the test cases except regression test. So we can write here not reg test. Okay, so I'll just change here the first scenario. I'll keep it only smoke test. Yeah, so I said that not reg test in the tags parameter. That means all cases except regression test will be run. So now I will run the test case using Junit. Let's see what happens. Yeah, user login, user logged in with valid username password. The first scenario. The first scenario, which is not a regression test, that is executed. But this regression test is not executed. So in this way, from the runner class, using this tags parameter, we can instruct Cucumber how to control the test cases. Which test cases to run, which test cases not to run. Okay, there are some more parameters like to generate reports and stuff. I will gradually discuss in my next video where I will show you like how to pass a data table to from the feature file to the step definition and run the test cases on that. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.